this talks about dicot groupings. Now, notice, this does not say taxonomy of dicots, so therefore we're not going into heavy taxonomy of all the different families of dicots, but rather what we're doing is we're giving you a way to be able to break down plants to be able to begin the taxonomic differentiation in there. And basically, this is a dicot grouping that is an easy way to separate dicots into one of three main groups. You can see the central word in the three letters down here is the word petal. The first word is Apetalae. A means no petals. We have the Polypetalae. Poly means many petals. And we have the Sympetalae. Sym means together. This is where the petals are fused together. So let's take a look at it, some of the different kinds of dicot grouping. Apetalae, no flower petals. This is a maple flower. It's pretty red. You see it in the spring. There are no flower petals on it. This is the female maple flower. Again, no petals. This is a river birch flower, female, no petals. This is the male river birch flower, no petals. This is baby acorns starting. You can see the little part that's going to be the little hat on the acorn, but these are the female flowers and you don't see any flower petals. This is eucalyptus. This is really bizarre looking. You can see the female parts on the inside. You can see the male parts in the whorl around the outside. No flower petal. So it's a very unique, very unique sort of flower, but no flower petals. These are going to develop into being pecans. And you can see the little ovary that looks like a pecan. And again, there are no flower petals on this. These are gorgeous. These are called coxcomb. And these are the inflorescence of the coxcomb. Again, there are no flower petals here, even though it is brightly colored. Now, one thing about plants that are apetalae, for the most part, they transmit pollen in the air. We have the polypetalae. Polypetalae says petals free and distinct. That means they're not fused together, but they're rather individual little flowers. When we look at this is a Christmas cactus. I mean, you can see the vibrant colors. You can see the petals in here, and each one of these petals is free and distinct. This is a camellia, and you can count how, well, no, you can't count how many. There are too many to count, of these crisp, white, pretty petals that are on this flower. This is a strange looking flower, but you can count it. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a tomato flower, an heirloom type tomato flower. You can see the green sepals in the back. You can see the yellow petals in front of the sepals. Now on this one, it almost looks like the reproductive parts may be a little bit fused together, but that's not the petals. This is bizarre looking. This is a passion flower, and you can see the petals are all free and distinct. And what really are the petals on this are these little thin tubes coming out. This is orange. You can see the stamens look like they are kind of fused together, but you can see the crisp white petals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the background. Transmission of pollen in the case of most of these is by insect, because they come in and they're looking either for nectar or they're looking for something else that is going to entice them to pick up the pollen and take the pollen with them. Then we have the Sympetalae. Sym means together. This is where the petals are fused together. Look at this. How many petals? I don't know, but that's cute. And if you look at it, it looks like everything is one piece. Right? So you can actually see the flower petals in here, and it's all together in one piece. This is a rather magnificent flower that we see in the springtime and into the summer, and it just looks like this big plastic tube. And again, it is Sympetalae because it's one piece. This is Datura. These are very interesting ones, but you can see that this is one tube, it is one piece. This cute little thing over here is henbit. It's in the mint family. And again, you can see that it's got little parts at the end of it, but it's one piece, it's one tube, and therefore it is Sympetalae. This is your morning glory. It's a very unique thing. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rays coming out of it. You can see what looks like about 5 suture lines in between each one of those, but it's one piece. It's one petal. So it is Sympetalae. Aren't these cute? They look like little balloons. The petals are fused together. This is your snapdragon. Snapdragons are interesting. When I was a child, I was take this, and if you squeeze it just right, the part on it opens up. And again, it's one petal fused together. And this is your sunflower. And you go, wait a second. Nah, hold on. We got a bunch of petals in here. No, we've got a head-type inflorescence, and around the outside of that, and if you look on the inflorescence in here, what you can see is down here, you see the little flower, 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 little flower, little flower, and they come out of these, and these are all flowers. These are called tube-type flowers. These out here are called ray flowers. Each one of these is an individual flower, and each one will produce an individual sunflower seed. So therefore, this is an inflorescence with a lot of different flowers in it, but each flower has fused petals. So therefore, it is Sympetalae. And there are a lot of things in the sunflower family. So when we look at these are very interesting. Now, how is pollen transmitted? Again, the Sympetalae are going to have the pollen transmitted by insects. So, going back, when we look at dicots, we start out breaking them apart to be able to look at what they are based on. Do they have no petals? Do they have petals that are free and distinct? Or do they have petals that are fused?